G'day guys, quick video. Got a lot on today, as every day. Want to touch on a few things in regards to what we've been doing with the hedge trimmers and some fertilisation that's going to be occurring on a property today. And also wanted to talk about a couple of things to do with mindset. You know, I like to talk about that. And rejection. You're going to get rejection when you got quoting to do, and you got to stick to your guns and things related to that. So we'll get into this. I'll show you about the hedge trimmers, how we clean them. Show you what I'm going to do with this fertilizer. Roll onto the motivational mindset stuff, and that'll do. Thought I could hear Max coming up here, sorry. So, I want to give this a good clean. If you feel unsafe, and it's a battery powered unit, take the battery out before you get playing around here, because this will take your finger off. Typically, yeah, I haven't been too concerned once it's off. Haven't had it ever short out or anything like that, but it will be a good thing to do, good practice. So do as I say, not as I do type scenario. So give it a bit of a clean out. You can get the blower onto this. Wasn't too bad, and especially being wet, it sort of just falls off anyway. Now, I've spoken about what we do process-wise before we use it on any plants, just to lube it up a bit, give it a bit of lubrication. Just canola spray, canola oil. That's all we use. And then we finish up. We've got this. It's either WD-40 or this stuff I found is just, it's got a better nozzle on it than WD. WD ones with a little button seem to bugger up often, so swap to this. A little bit dearer, but yeah, this is what we use at the end. This is the end of the like end of each job. So not at the end of each day, at the end of each job. So if you've got 10 different hedging jobs to get to at the during the day, you spray this in between. So give this a quick spray. Don't know how close I am to this camera either. It's changing settings again, so follow along. Just real simple. Right in between, I like to get right in the gaps there as well, and then just make sure it's on every tooth. Give it a turnover, get it going through, give it a final wipe, put the cover on. You're never going to get every little bit off anyway, even with the blower, unless you got one of them little air compressor blowers that could get into the nooks and crannies, but it's good enough. It's a quick clean, tidies it up. You don't want that green waste decaying there, so you notice too in the wet using these things, a lot less friction obviously because it's not dry. The blades continually spin for a lot longer after you've turned the trigger off compared to a dry day. They'll shut off a lot quicker. So another consideration when you're using them, and you're used to how they shut off in the dry. If you're in the wet and you go to turn, and you're not, especially with the handheld units, not so much the pole units where they're further away from your body, but still when you're near things like sometimes you're in amongst irrigation or power cords or whatever, you don't want these blades shutting off, delayed shutting off and hitting something, you know. So that's something I've really been mindful of from the get-go with them, because they are quite deadly, which a few people have found out that I know of. So yeah, it's been working well. This is the new one. Got the other one in the shop because there's something to do with the head, and from the start, since I had it, it's been a bit of a problem. This one, touch wood, it's been fine doing and cutting through. I go no thicker than my finger anyway, even with the older one. There were some where maybe a bit thicker than your thumb, and it had to cut from one side and the other, and didn't do that often at all. And yeah, just something in the head. I don't want to overdo this one, so definitely be more mindful of that. So I'll just whack this back up in here. Hopefully I won't knock you over there. It's definitely going do. I'll be back in a second. 1 second. Alrighty, so we've got the beautiful fertiliser. I've trialled it at my place. I'll try and get some footage maybe this afternoon as well, just to give you an update on the lawn. Hopefully we'll get a bit of a drier night and drier day tomorrow, and I'll be able to mow the bloody thing. It's I only made it 2 days ago, but the fertiliser's definitely kicked in. So anyway, with this fertiliser today, what we're going to be doing is treating a few lawn areas. A bit more rain coming this afternoon and tonight, but it's going to be a delay between rainfall events, so I don't want any burn happening. Even though it's a day that's typically not going to get too much burn, the grass is wet currently. You typically don't want it too wet and then apply this granular fertiliser. It's just almost instant burn onto the leaf as soon as the sun comes out if you're doing it that method. A lot of people like to do it in the rain, and it's alright if you're going to consistently get that rain to wash it down and in quickly. But if you get spits and spats in between and little dry periods, that's when it will start to break down them pellets and give a little bit of burn to the leaf. So typically put it down when it's dry, hose it in if there's no rain coming. Obviously if there's plenty of rain coming, you don't want that much rain that's going to wash it down the drains either. So there's a lot of considerations with this. Always be safe and be mindful of the environment around you. But with the grassed areas in here, what I'm going to do, cheat a little bit, which I've done before many times. I mulch anyway, so that's no surprise. But give this a clean out underneath the deck. We used that a fair bit yesterday, so we're using the husky, and I'll take it into both around the pool area, and out the front there's another little area that we're doing. Now I'll put the fertiliser down first, then I'll mow, or edge and mow, whatever process you like to use. And that'll just chop up the fertiliser, and what that'll do is help break it down quicker, get it down to that soil quicker, get it down under that canopy as well of the leaves, so then you don't get as much burn. And then I'll hose it in as well, because it isn't obviously bucketing down, and it doesn't look like it's going to be forecast to bucket down. It might be a 1 or 2 mil overnight. So got all that to do in amongst fertilising underneath some of these. Sheena's Gold is this variety of Hedge, if you wanted to know, but it's just wanting to beef these ones up here. All of these were nearly dead. I've said that in previous videos before. So there's a little section here, hopefully I'm not in the way there, and then there's another section down the end there. So just realised this camera does autofocus and everything, so sorry about that if I'm all blurry. But yeah, it's just to give them a beef up and help them catch up to the rest, because they're all looking really nice. Just want to get them height a bit better now, because yeah, whatever grows on them, I'm not going to be taking the tops, just the sides. We'll keep the height going. Once they get to a stage that I can take the strands off at the same height, I'll start doing that, and then wait for the rest to catch up. That's all you can do. It's been years and years of, I wasn't here for years, and then they've obviously been here and someone else has done it, and it's just, that's what they've been trained to do. Then they had a big drought for a couple of years, and they're only just starting to come back to life. So plenty of mulch, plenty of good soil in amongst it. Now time for the fert to really kick them along. Got a good couple of months here for fertilisations and things like that. Still going, obviously. Going to start pushing a lot more for that into the future. Tossing up my options still with the work vehicles, with the employees going forward, what I'm going to go ahead with that. Just little problems, 10-year-old vehicle, little issues all the time with it. Latest one is a little bit of coolant dripping, not much at all, but got a new radiator in it the other week, so getting all that checked and making sure the new hoses are clamped on properly, or whatever's going on there, because it didn't do it before the new radiator. So I'm just wanting to find all that out and keep it running, because I do want to keep it. It is a good car, good ute, but for me, I just like getting in a car, turning the key, and not worrying about it, just go and do my work for the day. I don't want to have to be stressing like, am I going to make it out of this job, or can I make it up that hill, or is the car going to give up the ghost, you know? So definitely will have its place, and it'll be run as a separate vehicle, doing the easier runs, local runs around town, Wallhope, Port Macquarie regions, and then I'll do the bigger runs down the highway for our bigger days down there, and any properties that are a bit more off the beaten track with the looking like the Isuzu dual cab is what I'll be going, but again, it's money, it's time, and I've got a lot of decisions to make before then. I want to get the tax time too before that if I can, sort everything out there and go forward with our best option. So what I want to get at too, real quickly, thank you for following along, thank you for listening to my jibber jabbering every time I get on this thing. But there's a lot of rejection in this trade, whether it's your quotes, especially when you are charging premium prices. So it's hard. Some clients, they don't care that you've got a great setup, you've got and you look after your equipment like this. Most people wouldn't care. They just carry coolant and they just keep topping it up and let it go. But I want to be as professional, as productive, as efficient as possible in my life, in my business. So with that, my prices reflect it. A lot of clients we've found, they just won't come on board based simply on the price. They don't care that it's a premium finish, they don't care that we sharpen our blades on our mowers regularly, they don't care that we service them regularly, have no leaks that's going to leak onto their nice pristine lawn, because you see a lot of beat up mowers out there and leaking oil everywhere, and definitely can guarantee the blades aren't getting sharpened as often as what we do, and their pricing is lower, and therefore the customer might go with them, but then their lawn ends up 12 months later. It might not be overnight, but it takes its toll over time. Cutting with dull blades, disease creeps into the grass, all these factors, and when you love grass as much as we do, you get these problems. So something about that, stick to your guns. Don't accept the rejection of it all, because you need to stay true to what you know you are capable of providing, and the customers that are right for you will come on board. So I'm going to get into this. Max is up here ready to go for the next stage of work, and then we'll get into the day. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Alrighty, probably wrap the video up, the main course of the video anyway. Get rid of that little dot. So what I was talking about just before was not to be afraid of rejection. When you're putting in your quotes, when you're going through the motions and people are telling you no, family, friends, whoever it is, whatever it is, you got to stick true to your guns, true to your values and why you started the business in the first place. Because that no that customer might give you, it only opens the door up for better things to come, for better clients to come down the track, because our diary's jam-packed. There's no holding back with quoting at the moment. And again, each year it gets to this stage, and it's a good test for me to see where pricing should be, because as I've said before, not many people like discussing it, especially in the local area, local competition. There is no real conversation at this stage. It's all a big grey area, and again, like, I can understand why. Like, you don't want to show your cards too early either, but at the same time, I'm creating this channel, providing pricing, providing quoting tips along the way, and hopefully you guys are getting something from that. I'll keep as I go through, because again, I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but it's a bloody good start to where I was 2 years ago, nearly 3 years ago. Yeah, you can go right through the origin story, but it's come a long way in a short space, and it's about helping one another, because I know the feeling that I get still day in, day out, not going to work for the man anymore, you know. As much as one of those positions was, it was a great company, great culture, and a great boss at the head of the table of all that organisation. It just wasn't for me, that lifestyle, that's all. And for my family, as soon as my wife and I had Heath, yeah, that's when it all changed, sort of 4 years ago, and then the business 12 months later. So it didn't take long. It was a quick transition. Priorities changed real quickly, and learning to take them punches when people did say no, because I knew from the get-go what my pricing needed to be. And even at that stage, it was a quarter of the amount. It's at a quarter of the amount that I charge now, and people were still saying no back then. So it's amazing to what you can push it to, and what you thought was possible back then compared to now. So yeah, it's a huge thing, guys, to be able to just say no, and not only be rejected, but also to say no to certain clients and certain jobs. We're too flat out to take on everything, and there's certain jobs we just don't do anymore. The odd fly screen fix or the door handle fix, we just can't fit in anymore. Over winter, yeah, there might be time, but 9 months of the year, definitely not. And to get that profit margin, profitability, business model working, we needed things in place. We needed certain jobs, and to just narrow that focus a little bit, and do things that we enjoy, which is lawn care, hedging, mulch jobs, pressure cleaning, gutter cleaning, and everything else just rolls on with that. You know, it's quite easy to do once you get it going, and it's an easy practice to put in place. It's not so easy when you've got massive overheads. So get them down low, get comfortable to a point that you know, I need to make a set amount, X amount of dollars. Might be 200 a day, might be 300, might be 400, might be 600. Whatever that might be to you, it could be thousands plus, it could be whatever you want it to be. You've just got to decide what you're comfortable with charging, what you know you're worth, and again, it's the market, what clients are willing to pay for your service and your professionalism. So in every sense, I wish you all the best in everything you're about to go do after watching this video, because you're so motivated. Because I'm a very motivating speaker, I know. But it's yeah, proof's in the pudding. I don't feel like I need to be showy and be like this big bloody marketing guru and everything else. It's it rolls on, it does its thing, and everyone can see year after year. I'm going to do a big post, and I might even make a YouTube video about it, from where I was, what I started with. Little bench shaft snipper, little blower, little push mower, wasn't even self-propelled, working out the back of the ute, no ramps, just lifting things, getting it done, and enjoying every second, learning. Fast forward, and we're at a stage now where I can afford to just, if I need to get a new vehicle, I can get a new vehicle. I can rent out the current property we're in and go somewhere else and start our investment portfolio. Like, there are a lot of things to come in the next, like this, how far we'll come in 3 years, another 3 years, another 10. It's going to be amazing to see what direction we take this, and who we have along for the ride. So enjoy, thanks for watching, like, subscribe and comment away. Share it with your friends if you've got someone that needs this little extra bit of motivation, and this channel's got plenty plenty of little golden nuggets that I'm looking to get onto Instagram and get little snippets of those videos, because even myself, when I get talking, trying to stay focused on exactly the message that I wanted to get across, and I'm trying to get better at that day in, day out, but these snippets will definitely help narrow it, and then hopefully get you over to the YouTube channel, and you can really sit down and spend a good half an hour watching some of these videos. Looking to get extra footage as well of the actual work we do. And yeah, just trying to find the time, guys. It's challenging. Trying to build the business and do everything else like with the family in the background, and then you're getting home and paperwork just coming out, quoting coming out. It's just so much to do. So coming out the ears, I should say, just overflowing. So that's about the balancing act that you got to find too. So plenty to come. I'm going to stop talking. See you later. Bye. Righto, we're back home, guys. Thanks for following along. Thanks for sticking around to the end once again. Just got the ute looked over. It's in behind the water pump. There's a little O-ring seal. So good to know. Looks like it's been weeping for a little while at least. Not major at this point. Just keep monitoring it and parking somewhere dry where I can see if it's leaving a big puddle or not. But other than that, I'm back here with the lawn. Just want to jump out quickly, show you. And then I'll shoot on through with the ute and trailer here. I'm going to load up for tomorrow's work. We've got a big mulching job, garden soil job in between all our lawns down the other end of the coast here. So big day coming up, and I'll show you the lawn right out this door. So you can see the fertilizer is definitely working when you get these little buggers. All the mushrooms popping up. So definitely enough nitrogen in there. We just have a few weeds. Got to get this new camera worked out. A few weeds just to kill along here. A couple along here. Right, and I'll get all in this garden bed. I've got what we got? About 6 yuccas to chop out. Those big tall ones there, and New Zealand Christmas bush, which is growing some fungus. Has done for a while, and it's taken over the plant. So we're getting rid of that before it spreads to the lawn or anything else. Tried looking online. If you know what that is, let us know. But yeah, it's definitely destroyed that little New Zealand Christmas bush there. And this stuff here, I just call it duckweed. It's very frustrating. Usually along the thin areas, which is less sun on this side of the house here, and that's where it typically will grow. But I've just got a little bit of it creeping in a bit of cooch here, and in the kikuyu out here. So it'll be knocked on the head very shortly. Just wanted to enjoy the true look with the fertilizer. You find when you treat it, even with dicamba and something that's typically safe for the go here where you can hear me. Typically safe for the grass, it still stunts it a bit. In my opinion, it still slows it down and still gives it a bit of a not the best look that you're after. This nice deep green colour just seems to take away from that a bit. So I like to enjoy it after I fertilise, let it all grow into the areas that it needs to, which is mainly around these sides here, which is nearly done. So I'll leave it there, get through this backyard here, and I'll show you the backyard and sign off. And thanks again for watching. Bye bye. Righto, so the backyard. Definitely coming up nice. This is the angle you use when you want to show it off, and this is the true indication. It's a little bit thin. Again, this is all shade for half the day, so you'll get these little thin spots anyway. And as much rain as we've had, really starting to thin it out again. And then this spot had a bit of army grub in it, it's coming back. Look at that, look at the focus. But all, if you remember the last one, all this had fertilizer around it, which I said I wanted all this grass to grow in. So if you compare the footage, yes, it's getting some weed as well, but you're going to get that, let it spread, then treat the weeds is what I typically do. So probably another week worth of growth, and I'll going to really hit everything. All these going to get a prune again, flowering or not. I'm just going to have to train them. Just get a more of a hedge look for all these gardenias. Give that a bit of a prune, give that a bit of a prune, and then chop out of some plants out the front there. So I'll record that if I get around to it. It won't be this weekend, it'll be the following. So till then, I'll find some other content to get to your way, and gotta load this ute up. It's good knowing about that water pump. I just like knowing what it is, where I can look, knowing where it's come from, looking up under the car, and not being a mechanic. It's good to just have someone like that you can quickly just check something, order the part, and we're hoping it'll just be ready come the next service. I'm just going to get it all done at once. It's got a couple of glow plugs to replace, and that water pump seal. So far the list will grow, I'm sure, between now and then. Like I said, 10-year-old car, you're going to run into these little issues, just little rubber seals, they're going to go. Being a plumber, I know and can track down pretty well where leaks are and things, but not mechanically minded really for cars. Know enough to get by, and that's it. I just prefer to pay someone, let them deal with it. They've got the right tools, they've got the right setup, they can get it up on a hoist and really look at it, whereas we're sort of up underneath on the ground and limited room to move. So it helps having someone you can trust, that's for sure, in all manners of your business. And this is the driving force, this ute at the moment. It's the money maker. So if it's down, we're down. And at the moment, my worker, his ute's down at the moment too. So we're really stuffed at the moment if anything happens. So touch wood, we're sweet. Again, I'll just go hire a ute if I had to, like just to get to properties. The trailer's good to go, I just need a ute. I'm sure we'd find someone that would lend us, mates or whatever, and just work out a deal with them. But yeah, they're things you got to worry about. And I like having backups, but unfortunately a backup car at this stage just isn't possible. Well, it can be, but I'd rather not have that over my head, you know. Just make as much profit as you can, run this into the ground, and then grow from there. So definitely spoke enough in this video, guys, so I didn't need to get any footage for you of actual work. I'll get that coming, I'll get that developed. It's definitely, once this other work is here, I'm really going to focus on the channel a bit more and pumping it on Instagram and really getting this knowledge through, because I really haven't done a great job of articulating what I want to say most of the time, and getting all that information, because there's just so much. You can never cover everything anyway, but there is just so much to know. And biggest message is just keep pushing for it, eh? Like, just know what you can achieve. Have faith in your own ability and in what you want to achieve, and just go for it. Be smart about it, but go for it. All right. Cheers. Bye. See you, bye.